Two dads and a Chaz putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Mostly gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air conditioning, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides some rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Welcome out, everybody. That's right. We're talking Green Bay Packers football. Hi there, ho there, hey there. Welcome out to Two Dads and a Chaz, the final preseason episode before we start the 2023 NFL season. We're going to be catching you up on where our beloved Green Bay Packers have been, currently are, and make some predictions heading into week one against that tire fire they call the Chicago Bears. Let's just get this out of the way right away. There's an elephant in the room or not in the room. Chaz is not here with us today. That's why I'm doing the intro here. But don't you cry because you got two dads and a tie. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce my boys that are here, starting off with my buddy who you might find at a local gas station, smelling like gasoline, eating some food that he bought from the hot case, Mr. Ty Window.
Thanks, Tyson. Dads, Caitlin, Packers fans worldwide, another season is upon us. We've got a lot to be excited for this year too. This team is underrated, and we are going to come out way hotter than anybody's given us credit for. Yeah, it's youth. We'll talk about that. But right now, I'm just thrilled that we're going to get another kickoff here coming up on Sunday and another season upon us.
That's great. That's awesome, Ty. That's great news. I like that. Hot takes right off the bat. Also join with us as always, the porcelain prince they call him. He's the captain of flavor, Mr. Aaron Mayhew.
Oh, Tyson, thank you for that introduction. And again, I just want to let everybody know we're really sad that Chaz could not be here today. We hope that the allegations and charges against him while he's being they sound
innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Beautiful charges.
That's the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it. But no, boys, I'm here to shake off the rust with this podcast team and delve into what I think is going to be a very exciting year. And Tyson, I want to kick it right into our opening drive here with our initial just impressions of the off season. Now, I mean, a lot of subjects to tackle here, but I'd like you to kind of take the lead. Like, where's your head at right now, my man?
Well, I mean, there's an awful lot that's happened this offseason. Let's say you were in a cave and you have no idea, and last time you went to sleep, Aaron Rodgers was our quarterback, and we just lost our ability to go to the playoffs. And they're like, "That's it. I'm shutting down all media." And you're just now getting back in the game. Welcome back, baby. I got bad news. Aaron Rodgers is not our quarterback anymore. He's now on the Jets, but he's also a cock, and it might be better without him. So that's kind of like the short version. I'm pretty excited about seeing, man, they doubled down on LaFleur is really what's going on. The Green Bay Packers organization doubled down on Coach LaFleur and said, no, man, we want to see what a team coached by you looks like. So now that we have the emperor of football out of the stadium, and we can actually see what this team looks like if they're running a football team the way that it's meant to be run, and playing on time and throwing all those different options. So, yeah, it's been a crazy offseason to say the least, but I think that we had another amazing draft. I think we've had about 2 or 3 in a row here that have potential to be historically great. It hasn't shown up on paper yet after last year. However, there is an awful lot there to be hopeful about. And if they are terrible, I want to enjoy this last chance to be hopeful about our wonderful Green Bay Packers before we find out what this is really all about week 1. Am I right, guys?
Dyson, eloquently put as always. Now, Ty, the beard's growing longer and longer throughout the year, but I know you got a lot of thoughts rolling around that noggin. Hit me with it. Where are you at?
Well, be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge draft guy, right? I try to be realistic about this. This is the NFL. This is not, rotation of college football and everybody gets a turn. These are grown men fighting for their livelihoods. So to see as many young players actually make the team as they have has been a surprise to me. It's definitely a refresh, and I'm just really impressed with the draft class, that we didn't have to scramble so much in free agency, and that we were, really setting ourselves up for a future, I think. And to have this much youth on the team, it's terrifying at first, but to see the quality that they got over the preseason, and these guys are, there's just so many people that impressed me. And I'm sure we'll get to all of them throughout the course of the show, but I just really impressed with the volume of young guys that we have that actually made the team. To me, that signifies that it was a really strong draft. And so good on Gutekunst for, really making the most out of, what did he have, 44 picks? Maybe only 13. But of those 13 draft picks, 8 of them are going to play for us week 1. So props to Goody on having his shit together on draft night.
Yeah, he's really kind of put his foot down in terms of drafting, and it's an impressive layout. But if you look at our team, the average age is like 25.7 years of age. We only have one player that's 32, and everyone else is younger. Only 2 players are 31, and then as you go down the list, the biggest bulk of our team is 23 and 24-year-old dudes. So like we have a lot of guys that are on their first contract, have incredible measurables in terms of their size. I've never seen a taller or bigger Green Bay Packers team, a faster or stronger Green Bay Packers team, or a younger and dumber Green Bay Packers team, which is exciting. When you're talking about the game of fucking football, okay, you're doing something that is not like in your human best interest to run at that other giant as fast as you can, and just, it's going to hurt, right? You need people that don't know how bad it is yet that are part of this team. Those are the people that make the team go. Those are the people that take out the veterans, that make room for the new players. This is how it always happens. It's almost never a vet that takes out a vet. It's always a young guy going for it who hasn't popped his clavicle yet and doesn't understand how the game of football ends up. We've had a lot of honoring and making right on contracts from guys that came up from a late draft pick or came up from free agent, free agent pickup or undrafted free agent. And we end up giving these guys really big contracts and end up building the nucleus of our team off of these guys that we in-house develop from a guy that's kind of worthless into this asset that if he left is worth something. So we got to pay him because we don't want to lose it. Right. This is different. We don't have that situation. These are all guys on first prove it deals. Nobody's gotten their big contract for the majority of the starters on this team. There's only a handful of those on the team right now. So like, there's just a lot of fresh energy. And also you see it and it was just preseason. But what I saw in defense was a swarming of players that I have not seen on this Packers defense. I can't even tell you when I remember last. I can't. I honestly have been excited by preseason play. And the last time that I was excited about preseason play was when Dom Capers was our first year coordinator and we had something to prove. And we came out and showed what a good defense looks like when this new thing, and went undefeated in the preseason or whatever. And I remember being excited about football that year. I believe we went on to win the Super Bowl either that year or the next. Either way, I feel like this was a page turn in the offseason. There's a lot of feelings, a lot of energy, of course, it's preseason. None of it counts, right? But it's interesting to see where we're going to go from here because it feels like a different Packers team. I don't know if you guys are getting the same vibe as I am. I mean, you guys watch as much football as I have. What are your thoughts?
Tyson, I would love to dive in there and just extend upon what you're saying. Like the youth movement in general, like you said, we had, I think it was like 4 guys over 30, and we literally cut like 2 of them. Pat O'Donnell, punter, like really solid guy. Get the fuck out of here because we got like a 23-year-old that like can kind of kick the ball a little bit. We're gonna roll with it. You know what I mean? Wide receivers across the board. Youth. Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Jalen Reed, and then Samari Torrey. Like we have all these guys that everybody, the underlying theme is they're all growing up together. And I think that's what Gutekunst wants. You know what I mean? And I think part of it, let's be realistic, our fucking cap situation was a fucking thing. Literally, we are paying Aaron Rodgers, I think like $50 million to like not play for our team. You know what I mean? This year, next year, I don't want to break that down right now. It doesn't matter. But I think the direction this team is heading, I'm just excited about. It's young. It's exciting. It's guys that have like grown up together and like have each other's backs. You know what I mean? We go across like the defense. Joe Barry, maybe he gets fired. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just listens or like looks at his fucking players and puts them out there. We got a young defensive line. We got Slayton in the middle. We got fucking Clark and D.Y. That is my boy this year. Wyatt, we called this last year. We were clamoring for this guy to get on the fucking field. I hope he does this year. And then, Ty, tell me that Quay Walker isn't going to be fucking zoned in this year, right? He's going to be punching guys in the fucking throat, ripping out fucking
And
spine.
I think that Quay mentality has spilled out to other guys. I mean, you see Elton Jenkins getting into a fight in Bengals training camp. There was a brawl with the Patriots before the game even started. They had to separate the 2 teams before they could even kick for a preseason game.
Right.
That's the tenacity this defense is coming out with. They don't care that it's a preseason against the Pats and it doesn't matter. And they're going to see 2 quarters of Bailey Zippy or whatever his name is. They don't care. They're grabbing face masks and they're grabbing shoulder pads of the other team and letting them know who's running who.
And that's what I'm saying. We've missed that the past couple fucking maybe generations, honestly. Like Tyson, when was the last time you felt like a defense just wanted to fucking, you know what I mean, man? Fucking.
I feel like the team has been run by the contracts for a while now. That's the way I feel. I feel like you could follow the money and see exactly who's starting, why, what's going on. Why are they playing Dean Lowry with a bum ass shoulder who can't stop shit? Oh, that's right. They're paying him $8 million a year. Okay, well, they got to pay him this last year, and so they got to get their money's worth. Like, it's all based off of this. You're paying for previous success. You're paying for the past. We were playing for the past. We're paying for Aaron Rodgers and his legacy, and that's why we're playing, and that's why we're getting a Super Bowl. And all of it was wrapped up in the money they spent or the injuries they accrued, and you owe us. And now it's like, we're the Packers. Let's go play. It doesn't feel like there's any unpaid debts. It doesn't feel like there's anything that we owe anybody on this team. It feels like we're all in the same boat. Yeah. And it clean slate in the purest form of it. And it also is that we have a system here in Green Bay, folks. I feel like we've all been like, oh, it's so weird, you know. Jordan Love came in at the same exact time that Aaron Rodgers came in after playing with Brett Favre. Like, we've created a system for developing guys that we deem worth it. And it's changed over the years. The circumstance has changed. But what hasn't changed is that we took a guy and made him sit on the bench for 3 years and appreciate this goddamn game for what it is, and made them humble about who they thought they were at draft day versus who they are versus that Hall of Famer, and forced them to take this craft as seriously as their bodies would allow it. And only then do we let them drive the car with dad sitting next to him. You know, like, we're at a point where Jordan Love has earned his spot, and I trust that he's as ready as he can be because he went through the program. And like, we haven't only done this with one other guy, and it was Aaron Rodgers, and it fucking worked out. So like I feel like we got lucky with Brett, and I feel like so much of Brett's game was based on luck. Aaron Rodgers' pendulum swings. It's completely different thing. It's formulaic. It's about details. It's about precision. It's about all these other things. But it got so long-winded and thrown to the outside that it became really hard for a normal person or player to play at the level that he wants. Well, now look at our team. We're playing quick, fast, shots to the inside, easy pickups, easy first downs, quick, efficient offense is how the pendulum is swung back now. Is that I think that Jordan Love took a lot from Aaron Rodgers, but he's clearly showing how he's different as soon as he got the opportunity by playing on time the entire time he's been on the field. And that's huge for
Not
what
only-
I want in football right now.
That was so well said. Thank you. I couldn't agree more. Ty, I would love to get your take on just the evolution of Jordan Love through your eyes. What have been your thoughts this offseason?
Yeah, I love that he's, let's remember, he's been, practicing every week with these guys. I mean, he's a professional quarterback, and the Packers have done a good job in helping him through that process of evolving into a starter and a leader. I saw it in preseason with, the leadership and just the camaraderie of the guys, but I also saw it in small little subtle ways, like just what a catchable ball Jordan Love throws. He can throw the ball hard, but he doesn't always throw the ball hard because he's got a wide open running back in the end zone. He just throws a catchable ball. And that's something that young quarterbacks don't do, especially when they have a cannon, which Jordan Love, I think, secretly has. I just don't think that he wants to use it exclusively. He doesn't want to be gunslinger guy. He wants to be completions guy and touchdowns guy and wins guy. And he knows that sometimes you got to lay off a little. He's shown a lot of maturity in his play in this preseason. And I was really impressed with the high level and of maturity that he showed, and that he did not look like a first year guy, because he's not. He's definitely had a lot of coaches saying, okay, next time you have a running back open in the end zone, lay it on him. And he's taken that, and he's taken everything that it seems that he's getting from this process and valued that feedback to the point now where I definitely trust him with the football, especially in the red zone.
Yeah, Ty, well put. I similar feelings here. Was I think the most underlying theme I watch is that he seems so comfortable within the offense. He doesn't fucking have fear in his eyes. Like when everything's like kind of like coming down upon him, he still delivers the ball. He understands the offense. He gets in the huddle. He knows how to fucking get in and out. He's making the play calls early. Look, I'm not trying to call out anybody, but the idea of the play clock running down to fucking 2-1 and then we blow a fucking timeout, was that a fucking Aaron Rodgers thing? Was it a
We're gonna
Matt
find
LaFleur
out.
thing? We're gonna fucking find out, guys, because that would drive me fucking nuts. It's like, how much time do you need? Just run the offense.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm seeing out of this cat, man. Because like you would imagine, he knows his place, and the coach is like just putting him in the right situations. I think the team is surrounding him with support, dude. Like it was the last preseason game. He had like scramble and slide. He got hit from behind. Fucking penalty flag goes up. Dude, the team lost their shit on those guys. They're like, that is my fucking quarterback. Back the fuck off. And I cannot wait. There's going to be growing pains, boys. We all know this. I'm going to get this out there right now. He's never seen these kind of like real defensive coverages in the NFL. Like, we're not talking preseason here. We're talking like we are scheming for you. Okay, Jordan, you're good week 1, week 2, week 3. Now we know what you like, and now we scheme for you again. How do you adjust? How do you get better? And I'm Tyson, you know what I'm talking about here. I think he's got what it takes, but
I think that what I'm the most impressed with is that I can tell this man at this point, he's not trying to play checkers. He's trying to play chess. Like, he's not being Baker Mayfield and Brett Favre. He's not like, he was passed down to Aaron Rodgers that you need to have a special arm to be great at football. And Aaron Rodgers is like, all right, you need to have a special arm and then be like a surgeon and smart about the game. And now I think that he's going to take that culture that we've made. And it feels like he has a lot more weapons than he's going to show until he needs it. I can tell he's got shit that he can do, but he's not out there trying to like get wows and get like, oh wow, look at this guy, he's so great. He's trying to do the right play at the right time within the window of what you're supposed to do, like what you're seeing guys like Patrick Mahomes and the best players in the game doing. Okay, that's the way you play the game. Now, could he do off-time crazy shit? Probably. We're gonna find out when
He did against the Pats when he had to catch his own pass. And that ball got batted, and he caught his own pass, and then was looking to make a play.
Right. So I mean, I think we're gonna find out, but he's not in a big hurry. He understands, it seems already, that like the league is going to be watching you. The league is going to be trying to get that film on you. You don't need to show them your best moves just so you can show the world your best moves. You know what I mean? If you have unstoppable shit, save it. Don't use it, And I think that he's thinking like that, which is, again, is not how anyone who has something to prove, that's young, that's been a question mark and talked about and not given the opportunity. Like, he shows a level of mental toughness and maturity that I'm like already really impressed with. So I hope he doesn't throw a bunch of interceptions and ruin it all, because he seems like a great quarterback and a guy that I could really not only get behind personally, but have my family get behind, have my kids like emulate and understand what patience looks like. That's the kind of family lesson vibe that this Packers, nation is really all about. I feel like he's the right guy for the job in a lot of ways, but we don't know if he can play.
Guys, and I love that. That.
I feel like that's what made this such a successful preseason too, is that we really didn't give away much. The play calling was very bland and standard. Nobody got hurt, and we saw a little bit of what we might have. Like, that's exactly what you want out of a preseason.
We seemed in
control. When you leave preseason and nobody knows who you are, you've done preseason right. And I think we're in that position.
Yeah, we are definitely like in the everyone. It's safer to say like, watch out, the Packers could be something, than like say that we're shit now, which is like, I guess a step in the right direction. But really, like, I don't want that national bullseye on our back. I don't want people thinking when they come to Lambeau, they got to bring their Super Bowl performance because Aaron Rodgers, the greatest of all time, is waiting for them. I want them to kind of have their guard down. I want the Lambeau experience to have a bigger effect on their psyche than they expected. Like, I think that there's a lot to offer with the unknown advantage of no one knowing what Jordan Love is, instead of, which we're all eager to find out. But man, I hope that it seems like he gets that and understands how to use that to his advantage. And I hope that that's what we're going to see over the first 4 or 5 weeks. Real quick, guys, what do you guys see this team? Have you looked at the schedule much? What do you guys see this team in terms of wins and losses? Just real quick, off the bat, if you already had a thing. Number.
Dyson, I'm really glad you asked. Am I sharing the right screen here? Yeah. Yeah.
There he goes.
Hold on, we're presenting.
Oh, there.
Okay.
All right, gang. So we open up against the Chicago Bears.
That's a big W.
That's a definite winnable game. That's one win.
Very winnable. We're on the road, but okay. Atlanta Falcons.
They spent $10 billion in the offseason, so nobody knows who the Falcons are, but everybody there makes $50 million a season.
I think we could win that game. I think it's a winnable game. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but there's a lot of unknowns with the quarterback situation and that team in general.
Yeah.
Let's continue. The New Orleans Saints.
That's a winnable game, guys. We're talking about what, that fucking tool bag who used to play for the Raiders? I don't know. I think we can probably take Derek Carr and take a win away from him. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, because the Saints consistently seem to have like a just nasty defensive line. I don't know. I'm not basing that off of any research, just my general like feeling about them. I feel like that'll probably be the case, but I don't know. I think we can win that. We can win that game. That's 3-0 right now.
I think T-Bone, the fact that it's at home is a world of difference, dude. Playing down in Nerlens is a fucking situation. Nobody wants to play in Nerlens.
It's a home opener.
I will remind you, the last time we did play New Orleans, they threw a big shocker and beat the Packers. So I'm on edge about that one just because they are so sneaky and tricky. And they're a team that doesn't care. They will pull their best plays week 4 just to beat you. So they're not much on the long game, but it makes them scary week to week.
Let's continue on, boys. Here we are. Detroit Lions. Everybody's sucking their dick, these days. Like, how do we feel?
It's the same thing every year with the Detroit Lions. And let me tell you how the Detroit Lions pan out. The Detroit Lions go 8-0, and everybody loses their damn mind and is like, oh my God, the Lions have finally turned a corner. And then they lose the next 9 in a row. Like, it's every year through November. People are like, oh, watch the Lions. They're going to win the division. And then they just lose every single game for the second half of the season. Any Lions fan will back me up on that. That first one is a scary one. It's a Thursday night. I think if we're going to lose to the Lions this year, it'd be that one. Because by December, they're just going to be such garbage. But that one worries me a little.
We got them on Thanksgiving. So I think that I feel like this is a must win for us at home.
I agree. We need to set the
must
fucking
win. We cannot lose the Lions. Like, that will be multiple times in a row, guys. There's like a streak going then. We're talking about, so we got to beat the fucking Lions just to keep the balance of the universe.
Got it. Week 5, Las Vegas Raiders.
It's a winnable game.
Such a homer. I love it.
We're going undefeated, guys.
No, that's what I'm saying, boys. We'll back it up here. Let's say, okay. So the Bears, the Falcons, a New Orleans team that's trying to figure it out. Lions at home, and then we're at we need to be 5-0 here. In my opinion.
It's very doable, very winnable, very good situation. And then we're going on by. And then who do we go against? Russell fucking the robot gone crazy Wilson. We'll see if he's got it back together or if they can't replace the chip, because it seems like that thing's malfunctioned and it's not coming back.
No, he reminds me a little bit of Chaz too, Tyson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're the same model.
Kind of all about brands and just,
The Russell Wilson
cares more about his advertisement spots than his day job.
A lot of catchphrases.
Let's ride.
And I feel like he's slowly getting overweight. The
last time he's never not joining us.
Oh yeah, he's gonna
Let's
kill
move
us.
on to week 8 here. Where Minnesota, it's like a dumbster fire, right? I feel like we fucking own these guys.
Minnesota got worse.
Now, yeah, but
they got way worse this offseason.
They got some good wideouts, though. They got. I don't know. I feel like the rookie wideout's pretty good. They just gave their tight end a huge contract. So you're gonna see TJ Hawkinson try to be Kelsey. He's gonna get 10, 11 balls a game. So
all right, and the rookie is Jordan Addison. He was
Jordan Addison
out of USC.
Yeah, and then don't forget their number 1 wideout. So they do have
Justin Jefferson. Everybody.
But they lost Thielen, who was
more importantly. Did you see that Netflix documentary about Kirk Cousins? I mean, this guy's a fucking tool bag. I don't know what else to say about him, but I don't know how you could win a Super Bowl for that guy. I just don't believe it's after 17 weeks of that, and you're I don't want to do another one. You got it. I just can't imagine wanting to play for Kirk Cousins and go through a brick wall. I just can't imagine.
I agree more, and that's a great segue into week 9 now. LA Rams, they've basically sold their soul to the devil for 1 Super Bowl, and now they've had to cut all fucking talent from their team, and they have a quarterback with a back that can barely hold up at all. Cooper Kupp coming off injury.
It's a winnable game. It's a winnable game.
That's a win.
That's a win. So what are we now? 7-0? 8-0?
I'm not good at math. Let's go on to week 10 though. Pittsburgh Pittsburgh does have me. How do you guys feel about Pittsburgh? I feel like they're actually cooking something up down there.
They always
Over
are
there.
good. They
Yeah.
always,
Around there.
yeah.
Tomlin's a top tier coach, no doubt about it. I mean, he takes guys and transforms them into killers. I mean, that's always a scary opponent.
Real quick, guys, can one of you guys name
That's
the
on the
name of their
road,
quarterback? What's the name of their quarterback again?
Kenny Pickett.
Oh well, all right. Well, I was gonna say I will see. We'll see who it is. If you see how he does at the end of the year. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett.
Look, he's got tiny hands. Everybody's.
That's
gonna
what
make
I
fun of
heard.
him.
They're like little baby toothpicks for fingers.
Tell you what, we'll cross. We got a long time before then. Let's go to week 11. The Chargers. Now this
Yeah.
is a formidable foe coming
Yeah.
to Lambeau Field. This is real deal.
But it's coming to Lambeau, and I feel like we play like shit when we go to LA and play the Chargers, and we play really well when they come to Green Bay, especially when it's not hot. When it's just week 11, that seems kind of cold, right?
Oh yeah.
Just
Fucking November,
saying.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, they aren't gonna like that. They're from San Diego. That's like not perfect weather. They can't like hang out outside and like do yoga.
I know that comfortable 60-degree weather is really going to throw them off, Tyson.
They're never
Very
gonna
good
expect it.
insight. Look,
They got it circled on their calendar, like, oh no,
yeah, let's
it's
just
gonna
move
be
on.
brisk.
Let's just move on into week 12, which will be our first Thanksgiving game. And I can't remember how long, boys. Can you remember last time?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I can't remember it. No, we played the Bears, didn't we, on Thanksgiving?
That doesn't
Yeah.
happen. No.
That was a couple seasons ago. It's been a couple seasons since we've had a good old Thanksgiving.
No, it
game.
wasn't. Yeah.
You either play the Lions or you play the Cowboys, and they throw in this like rogue, like third, like night game. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
no, they've screwed us out of that one for a long time. And as soon as Aaron Rodgers leaves, they're like, "Hey, we'd love to have you." You know?
Yeah. I think that one's probably a loss, if I had to guess. I just feel like that's the Lions' like biggest day of their year. That used to be like the Super Bowl to them
No, but
because
that's their
they never
turning
made the
point.
playoffs.
That's where they turn into just a trash pile and totally implode. They embarrass themselves on national television for the 44th year in a row. And then they feel so terrible because they know every grandpa, man, and son watched them utterly fail on Thanksgiving. And that's pretty much the give up point for the Lions, where they're like, oh, yeah, we suck. We give up now. And they lose the last 6 games of the season. So
Yeah, Ty,
hell
every
with that.
year before this last year, I would totally agree with you. Like, I'm curious. I'm curious because these lions, they swim in the ocean, okay? And
Yeah,
they
they'll
will
drown you.
fucking drown you. All right?
They will drown you.
yeah.
Drown a fish.
Yeah.
That's just math. Anyway, let's move on to week 13.
This is
where,
where we're gonna hear the first loss
yeah.
of the season, fellas.
No,
Sunday
no,
night
no.
game.
Yours truly will be attending this. I will be at this game.
Oh,
Sunday
that's a
night
win.
football.
It's a winnable game.
And
Then.
it's a win.
I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna bring it home for you boys.
Okay, you heard it here first. That's a guarantee. It's a 2 dads in the chat. It's a guarantee.
Look, Travis Kelce just hyperextended his knee in practice today. Okay, so things
You
are already
drafted
looking up.
him. That's what you get.
I did. I drafted him like
Yeah, I
every
knew
week
you did. I knew you did. My draft is tomorrow.
All right, let's continue on to week 14, where Danny Dimes. We have another shot at this piece of shit.
It's a winnable game.
Yeah.
Is anybody else like so angry about this game last year against the Giants? Like I was fucking embarrassed.
They blindsided us. We got blindsided.
Oh my
it was
God.
definitely
No,
a
we
sucker
didn't.
punch of a game.
No, Aaron Rodgers thought that he could like fucking roll out of bed, like, Mike Tyson going up against Buster Douglas, after partying all night and just fucking beat this team without even trying. He didn't respect the situation. I'd never seen Aaron Rodgers give less of a shit than against the fucking New York Giants. So I put that one on him, and also our whole team like sitting there clutching their pearls, being like, "Why isn't Aaron winning?" That's on us too. So like I hated that game. That was the turning point of the season where I stopped understanding what was happening.
So we'll call that a W. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have something to prove there. I think that meant something.
Yep.
And I think that they're gonna want to win that game.
I couldn't agree more, man. And we
Yeah.
move into week 15 here, where Tampa Bay Buccaneers and I think Baker Mayfield is rolling.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see who is left at that point.
Everybody's shaking in their boots. Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. It's a winnable game.
Hold on though, because then we roll over to Carolina, which could be a sleeper game. Could be a bit.
Is that a noon game? What do we got there?
We don't even
Yeah.
know who the quarterback is. Going to be Sam Darnold. Who's their quarterback?
Yes, sir. That is a 12 o'clock start.
Sam Darnold. Is that their quarterback?
Jesus
Look
Christ,
at
I
this.
know they drafted Bryce from fucking
Bryce
Alabama.
Young.
Oh yeah.
Bryce Young. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
So
see
we're
what
all
that is.
really impressed, obviously.
That's what I'm saying. By week 16, he's improved. It could be. We don't know.
It could be, we don't know. It could be a loss. Same with the Minnesota week 17.
No, we're gonna
Those guys
punch
are gonna
those
get
guys right in the fucking dick. There's no
Yeah,
way,
I hope
dude.
you're right.
Minnesota is going
They
down
steal
this
one.
year. 6 and
They steal
10,
one.
6 and 11. I'm not good at math,
Oh.
but you know what I mean. And then we round that all out with the Chicago Bears. And
That game won't matter. That'll be garbage time. We'll have the backups in by then and already have the division locked up by that Bears game. So win or loss doesn't matter. It's not going to affect our playoff spot, and we'll just trot out the third string and still beat them.
So 15-2 is where you guys are at.
Yeah. 15-2, winning the division, and as long as
I think-
Tom Brady stays in retirement, we're winning the Super Bowl.
100%.
Well, that's easy. Walk right in. Crown him.
All right, fellas.
Yeah.
This is the
Can we just-
point where. Oh no,
Go ahead.
Tess, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I just kind of wanted to talk through the roster real quick, just kind of like tell you who we actually ended up going with. You know,
Yeah,
for
talk.
people who don't know what's going on. Okay, all right.
Do
So
some
real
talk.
quick, quarterback, quarterback, obviously, right? We got Jordan Love. We've been talking about him all night. You know about that. Also, we didn't talk much about Sean Clifford. Sean Clifford was played in the Big Ten. This guy's a total Jim Sorgi situation. Okay, this guy did not look good in college. He was there. He played quarterback, but you're like, I don't know. They don't really throw the ball, and when they do, it's like not really. It doesn't look right. And then he gets to the NFL, and this guy's born to be a backup. This guy is doing it. He is doing everything you want, and he's learning the offense quickly, and he's very impressive. There's even some idiots out there that think he should start, and they're wrong. But still, he is a hell of a player and way better than we expected, especially for someone we didn't expect to draft at all.
One thing on Sean Clifford, just real quick. It was hard for me to tell watching preseason if he was playing preseason football or he was playing Sean Clifford football. It looked like he was going to make the most of a chance, which meant he took a lot of chances. He threw some balls into some tight windows, and he did get picked off quite a bit. However,
I like it.
is that a guy trying to make a statement? Or is it a guy just like accepting that it's preseason, it doesn't matter, and if a linebacker, rips one for 6, who cares? If that were a completion, you'd be challenging right now. So
No. He's the perfect backup for Jordan Love. You need a crazy fucking guy to back him up who's like, I'll make that throw and does that crazy Brett Favre shit. To everyone be like, no, we're sticking with Jordan. He's doing just fine. He's gonna be methodical.
yep.
No,
Sean Clifford is definitely a hold my beer kind of quarterback.
But if Jordan goes down, you better believe I'm gonna love this Sean Clifford, Brett Favre resurgence bullshit. Like, let's just gun it into triple coverage off my back foot. Bang.
Also behind, real quick, Tyson, while we're going over the roster, behind Sean Clifford on the practice squad is the reigning USFL MVP, the cocaine cowboy himself, Alex Magoo, who led the Birmingham Stallions to their second straight USFL championship. I want to see the guy is amazing. He's got to stir some Adderall into his cocaine. He's a backup of a backup quarterback. We are filthy rich right now.
I'm just saying that's where you dig. That's where you spent all your research budget. I think that's funny. All right, we're moving on. Wide receivers. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? We got Christian Watson, showed himself as a true burner in the last year. went from being a unknown to arguably one of the most dangerous players in the entire NFL. Now, I've seen Romeo Doubs live, and I'm going to tell you this, folks, that dude's the real fucking deal. I've seen just the way he moves, the way he attacks the ball, the way I just think he's like an incredible wide receiver that's just ready to fucking burst. And I certainly hope that's true, but he's done nothing but impress me. And if it wasn't for an injury and possibly Aaron Rodgers fucking with his head, I think that he could have really blossomed into something special last year. I'm hoping we get to see that this year. Now we're going on to one of our most exciting draft picks, Jaden Reed. Somehow wasn't on our draft board, didn't notice him as well. But let me tell you, this kid is fucking awesome. You watch his college tape, you watch him play. He looks like Steve Smith. This kid plays way bigger than he is. He has a huge catch radius. He doesn't drop balls. He is tough as fucking nails. So, like, I love that he's on our team. He's going to be returning kicks. He's good. He's a good player. Then we got this guy, Malik Heath, who's a rookie who got in trouble. Now, here's the big change in the Green Bay Packers, guys. I got to say this real quick. For years, we've been about these good guys, right? We won't draft some special athlete, some Randy Moss, because there's something on his back record, and we don't mess with those kinds of guys, but we'll go with some other slow, shitty player who's like a great guy or whatever. I think that the page is turned. I'm seeing a lot of huge, strong athletes with checkered pasts that we are like drafting in the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm not against it. I'm cool with it. I'm tired of watching every other team draft these guys and get Super Bowls out of it. The football is a great place for a guy who maybe is not a great guy to have a job. This is a great outlet for you. This is the perfect job, in fact. So, like, I don't necessarily want the best guys on my defensive line. Maybe I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway,
this is not a game for gentlemen.
No.
Look, you want, go be a gentleman some other game. This is not a game for gentlemen. This is a game for warriors, and you can either fight or you can't.
Well, Malik Heath would have been drafted earlier in the draft. He might have been a much more sought after player if not for some knucklehead experiences of his past. But he had a great
preseason.
Incredible team, incredible work on our team. He's probably one of the best blockers on the entire team right now in terms of wide receivers. He definitely earned his spot. Big bodied, 6'2", powerful fucking wide receiver. Reminds me of a mixture of like James Jones and I don't know, somebody else. But he's good.
I gotta step in. He's fucking angry with his blocking. Yeah. James Jones, no, he's like a big fella that wants to block and like attacks the ball and made every opportunity he had, he made the most of it. I was so excited to see this man make the roster. Made a lot of sense to both you and I, but sorry, keep going.
Well, but I mean, but at this point, he's our number 4, and that means he jumps Samori Toure, which they couldn't stop raving about, who's done good things when we've seen him on the field. He seems like a solid fucking player. Well, now he's probably our 5th wideout, which is fine. And then we also got our rookie, Tavion Wicks, who's injured right now, but is signed. He's had a really good camp too. So wide receiver, there's no crap on tap. Like, I don't hear anyone that's a project. I don't hear any names on there that you're like just storing. I mean, I guess Tavion Wicks, but other than that, you're not really doing that as much as we have in the past. And so I'm excited about everyone getting an opportunity there.
The only thing there is that Watson and Dobbs are the senior class. Like they are. Those guys are second-year guys who are now expected to be.
Class. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
The maturity on it. So.
But over a period of all the, if this nucleus can stay together, guys, like this is what the Bengals have going on right now, which is that like they're all growing at the same rate. And that's why they're a fucking dangerous team, is because they have their nucleus is all at the same kind of, they're all going to peak at the same time.
Let's talk tight ends then, Tyson.
All right. We're talking tight ends. Well, we have our first round pick, Mr. Luke Musgrave. Now, all of a sudden, our team has become like a collector of unicorns. Like, we collect all these giant super athletes like you wouldn't believe. So this guy's fucking 6'6", gigantic fucking tight end who moves like a wide receiver. Super impressive player. So that guy's going to get a lot of play. Then we also drafted Tucker Kraft, 6'5" tight end, a lot sturdier build, a lot more of a seemingly standard tight end or blocking tight end, but still big and awesome. And in previous years, we would be stoked to have that guy on our team. He would be our number one in the last 10 years after Jermichael Finley. We would have been like, oh my God, Tucker Kraft. But now he's like our second. Then we also had to fill in after some injuries with Ben Sims right now is going to be our third tight end. We also have Josiah DeGuara, who is actually, but they've really moved him to more of a fullback role, which makes a lot of sense because him and Jordan Love have a lot of rapport. They've done a lot of passing together throughout his entire career. It seems like they want to be loyal to Josiah DeGuara because he did break the ACL and fought his way back, and they want to find a role for him that fits. And honestly, he's too short to be a tight end, especially in this room, considering that the other guys are 6'5", 6'5", and 6'6". So like that dude is now our fullback, but also one that can catch like a tight end. So like if you have a matchup with him at tight end, that's kind of an disadvantage. But at fullback, if you're not using him to actually block, he's kind of has an advantage on most linebackers. So like we have found a role for him that might work, but mostly I think he's in the team because he's good at special teams.
Guys, I'm legitimately concerned that he may not even be alive anymore. Has anybody seen Josiah DeGuara like in the past 2 months? Like he isn't on the field.
He's around.
Talk about him in practice.
He made the team.
It's like he's like a fictitious being at this point, in my opinion. But yeah, no, he's gonna. I'm sure he'll do great. Anyway, continue. I apologize.
Running backs, we got Aaron Jones, star face, I think, of the fucking franchise for this week. Anyway, I love Aaron Jones. What he represents is what our team is at right now. I fucking love what he's about. I love the way he approaches the game. I think that it is spread and is what also happens to be what our quarterback's about, also happens to be what our coach wants to do. There's a reason he stayed with us, folks, and it wasn't because he couldn't make more money.
He was the first guy in the offseason just catching fucking balls from Jordan Love, like out in fucking California, whatever they did. Yeah. Sorry.
Guys, I remember when we moved on to Aaron Rodgers, because I'm old enough that's not even like I wasn't even young. That felt like not that long ago. But still, like when we did that, Donald Driver was like the name and the face and the voice that just held him right on through and like was like, this guy's got an amazing deep ball. This guy's great. He basically taught him how to be the star quarterback. I feel like Jones is doing the same thing with Jordan. I feel that same kind of vibe that he's taken on that role of passing on the Packer energy. And honestly, I don't know if there's a guy on the team that emulates to be more of a Packer than Aaron Jones at this point. I think he's probably it. So I love where we're at with that. We got AJ Dillon as his backup. This dude's more legend than like turnout, unfortunately. I love the guy. I think he's a great dude. I like his build. He's got a lot of potential. But if he doesn't start running low and making decisions faster, he's just going to be another workout warrior who fucking blows his knee out as soon as somebody hits him wrong. Like I would love it if he would be the hammer every single time and just make one cut and go. And I'm not a genius in football. I'm sure everyone has told him that in his whole world. But I will say, if he ran like Emmanuel Wilson ran, we would have the best running back in the fucking league. Emmanuel Wilson doesn't have the gigantic natural gifts that AJ Dillon has, but what he showed in preseason was so good that he forced us to create a roster spot for a third running back, something that we haven't needed to do in years. We've been able to ride these guys that are good enough that they could like come in and actually fill a void and become like a threat to another team, but we didn't showcase them enough that we could make sure we could sign them to our practice squad and just have them hang out there until we needed them, sign them for a week, kick them back down the practice squad, save a little money. Well, Emmanuel Wilson's performance was just too goddamn good. And the rest of the league took notice. You know, the last time that we had an 80+ yard run on Green Bay Packers, it was a very long time, guys. We have not had those kinds of breakaway runs in a long time. He ran with emotion. He ran with purpose. and he showed a lot in that game, so much that we had to like sign him. And
100%. And I
had
think I was actually shocked that he did make the 53 because we have not held on to 3 fucking running backs ever. Patrick Taylor continuously put him on the practice squad, but dude, AJ Dillon, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit. I need him to show up in a big way this year because I'm kind of getting it's very subpar. Ty, what are your thoughts on AJ Dillon?
That's a tough one because I want to root for the guy so hard, and I see what he has, and I see what he brings. But then there are just weeks where he's just 12 yards isn't going to cut it, bud. Like, and so I need a little more consistency out of him, I think. And it doesn't have to be big numbers every week, but like Tyson said, I just want him to be that hammer. I just want him to punish every linebacker that comes up against him because if he's doing his role right, I mean, it really is softening up the defense so that Jones can just torch him. So, I'd like to see
like a fucking
roll a little bit more.
No,
and
man,
he's not, try to overdo it.
Derrick Henry had an almost identical, like, statistic first 2 years in the league as AJ Dillon did. He did not get utilized well. He didn't get the right amount of carries. He wasn't put in the right offense. They changed the offense to be a power run offense, started giving him a little more space to run. And all of a sudden, this dude's the best fucking most unstoppable second half of the season running back you could ever fear to go up against. I feel like AJ Dillon was drafted to become that. If you're not going to do it now, you're not going to get fucking paid and you are going to get hurt. So you're not going to be you're going to have to become the guy that everyone expects you to be. Otherwise, who are the guys that was drafted by the Browns who played for Alabama? I can't remember his name, but he was worked out too much. And he just didn't have, even though he was incredible in college, he was so strong when you got to the NFL. It was you're too big to really do anything with that. And he just washed out of the league. He's in danger of becoming that if we get another year of the same.
Let's segue this conversation. Actually, I'm glad it took this turn. If you two haven't noticed, which is no way that you haven't, Jonathan Taylor, in theory, has been on the market. Okay. And then it always comes up where the Packers are always in the, Gutekunst is fucking saying, we're always in the conversation,
Yeah.
You could be fucking doing nothing and just being in the conversation. But the latest report I saw that was down to us in Miami as far as who is willing to actually pay what they thought would be, meaningful. And then now Miami, I heard, has backed out recently. And I think the whole underlying theme is let's look at it. Aaron Jones, he's gone after this year, right? This guy is old enough. We cannot pay his contract next year. As far as cap it, he's gone. AJ Dillon has not been the special player. I'm sorry, AJ, you're out there listening. It's prove me wrong, but the idea behind getting Jonathan Taylor now, motherfucker's 24, and then you have all of this youth.
Yeah, that's a bleak.
Gentlemen, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about it?
I think it's a bleak picture you're painting here the next year with those two guys. I'd like to believe
bleak picture. It's fucking reality, and
I'd like to believe that we could be in a position. Listen, I remember I was listening to the radio one time, and it was Amon Green. Amon Green was on, and he was talking about how he talked to Aaron Jones and told him that he made a huge mistake going to Houston and following the money, that you will always be a legend if you stay in Green Bay, and that you should stay here because you'll get everything you can get from football by being a lifetime Packer. And he wishes he would have stayed, even though he came from Seattle, that he made a huge mistake going to Houston. I think Aaron Jones would take less money. I think that if he's not hurt at the end of the year and he wants to keep playing, I think he restructures his deal so that he can stay a Packer.
Well, how do
And I
we
think
not have money? How do we not have money? Aren't we?
we have money?
Didn't we unload
fine.
the $50 million a year sandbag?
Guys,
that
we're
you're
gonna
carrying
have
around?
money. That's my fucking point. Tyson, Aaron Jones is a great story. I love him. He has done nothing but be like the epitome of like a Packer. He's
Yeah.
also like fucking 29 years old, dude.
I
What are
know,
we doing?
I know, and he runs like he's being chased by someone with a knife. Like I understand.
And then AJ Dillon has had all this shot. Okay, I thought we're having a meaningful conversation, but clearly we're just.
No, he does. He does. He's great. But no, I'd like to also believe that AJ Dillon has the potential to bloom this year, like Henry did. I'd like to believe that this is his year, that they uncork it and show what he's really about. Because I'll tell you what he's not about: running out of shotgun. And I'll tell you who didn't want to play under center is Aaron Rodgers. So I feel like he was forced to do a lot of shotgun running that is not beneficial to a back his size, to be lined up to the side of a fucking guy for a delay, handoff. It screws him. He needs a head of steam. Everyone knows that. So like, if you're
okay, let me reframe this for you, okay? Because both of these players came out at the same time. So do you want to pay AJ Dillon long term, or do you want to pay Jonathan Taylor long term? Because that's the situation we're like literally looking at.
Yeah,
2024.
And Jonathan Taylor is currently injured.
He's not injured. They're literally saying that because they're fucking Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think it's hard to not go with JT, but
oh my god,
it's hard to not go with him. But I want to. Ask me at the end of the year, I'll tell you.
I think I'm going to focus on this year and the fact that we are loaded at running back.
Don't you dare try to do what you're doing right now. We need to cut the commercial. Ties, turf talk. You have some
Turf
kind of
talk with
fertilizer, right? That's like revolutionary. You were telling me about earlier today.
No, it's the old school. We're talking turf. We're talking turf at Soldier Field.
Oh yeah,
they've had nothing revolutionary at Soldier Field with turf in about 100 years.
They're using Scots over there.
It's week one. They still haven't even patched the gopher holes. Like the only fortunate thing about going to Soldier Field week one is that the rats haven't moved into the field yet. Like there's a woodchuck hole at the 20-yard line. I'm pretty sure the goats mow it. I'm pretty sure it's like an old cost-saving measure. It's the crappiest field in the NFL, and everybody knows it.
Yep.
So
It's
good luck
awful.
with that, Bears.
They have a parking garage underneath it. I used it when I went to the shed.
Yeah.
That's what's under their stadium. Wouldn't that be terrible if that was like what was underneath Lambeau Field was just like
a urine-soaked parking garage?
Parking garage, yeah. No, that's a monument to football.
Well said, boys.
All
Well,
right,
anyway,
Okay, can we just run through the offensive line real quick? Because I'll be real quick on this.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So centers is a real quick one. We only got one guy, Josh Myers, and nobody likes him. So that's pretty cool. Moving on.
Well, he's 6'10" and
he's pretty tall and not so good sometimes, but other times he is good. So they call that
as long as he doesn't have a bunch of old guys around him. Who else is on that O-line, Tyson?
Well, we got Sean Ryan. He was popped for PEDs last year and was pretty much bust, but he said he's had a better camp this year. We got John Runyon, who has started and is a formidable starter. Also played a little center this year for us. We have everybody's least favorite guard in the NFL, Royce Newman. We still got him on the team. Somehow he made it. I don't know how, but he did.
We got to stop there. I know we got to discuss Royce Newman. You said earlier that this team the foundation of it has been like interior offensive linemen. You draft them, we slowly bring them up, and they've been successful. This fucking asshole is trash, and they continue to plug him in. What am I missing? He looks at a stint like it's the first time he's ever seen it. I'm like, dude, you've been in professional football.
I feel like it's just one of LaFleur's guys. Like it's Amari Rodgers all over again, where he's just like, guys, but then who's gonna get the birthday hats? This is why we got to keep Royce around. You know what I mean? But guys, who's gonna Who's gonna grab the towels?
We're gonna put the best 5 players on the field, offensive
and
line.
then
Like,
also
no, you're
Royce
not.
Newman.
You're clearly
Also
not
Royce
doing
Newman.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we have Elton Jenkins, who's fucking awesome. That's the
Yep.
other guy. So it's gonna be probably
Only
John
getting
Runyon.
better. Elton's only getting better.
Yeah, John Runyon and Elton Jenkins are the 2 starting guards. With Josh Myers in the middle. At tackle, we have a embarrassment of riches of fucking great outside tackles. I don't know what happened with the Green Bay Packers because I remember for a long time, like it was Tauscher and it was Clifton, and then it was just like years of like praying that someone could do this job and us drafting guys and striking out and drafting guys and striking out. And now all of a sudden we're like 3 deep with 6'7" fucking badass tackles. Like our team is way more loaded than we've ever been. So we got Zach Tom. He's 6'4", but he plays a lot bigger. He could play pretty much any position on the entire offensive line. A lot of people want him to start. He's going to be an outside tackle. We got David Bakhtiari, also 6'4". We treat him like your dad's Ferrari that we just take out every other weekend. And otherwise we just got to, get it repaired and polish it up. And so like, we're just trying to keep that thing in shape to maybe make it to next year so we can sell it. But we still want to keep it running. I keep it running. We want to make sure everyone knows it's still, it's still good.
What's Josh Nyman? What's Josh Nyman then?
Oh, Josh Nyman is like a muscle car that it's like a mail truck that you completely tricked out and turned into like the coolest muscle car ever. You put every single possible like upgrade you expanded the frame. It's like it's one of a kind. This guy's 6'7". This guy's a dream. Are you kidding me? You look at this guy on paper, he looks like a perfect left tackle. Okay. And we've developed him over time to be like a super legit guy. And we're like, anyone want him? We don't need him. We got all these other tackles. Anyway, we'll sell them for like, what do you got? 3rd round pick. I don't care, whatever. And then we got Caleb Jones, as if we didn't have big enough guys. This guy's 6'9", 370 pounds. This guy just throws dudes. This guy's a monster. And I fucking love him. And I kind of want the world to fall apart in a way that he gets to play because I fucking think he's my favorite Packer. I just haven't seen him play enough to be sure. Because I just love him. He's so big.
He didn't make the 53.
What?
Or the practice squad.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He's not on our team?
No. I mean,
well, Rasheed Walker.
400 pounds is tough to carry around.
Well, Rasheed Walker is, and he's 6'6", and his arms are like 20 feet long too.
There we go. Let's talk Rasheed Walker.
Rasheed Walker fucking came up out of nowhere and became like this unstoppable, wacky, wavy, inflatable arm guy. His arms are so. Watch him next time he plays. Look at how long his arms are, and you won't be able to think about anything else ever again. All right, that's pretty much what I got here for the offensive line.
So your overall thoughts? You think that we're fully loaded? We're capable?
I think we are loaded in areas where, we re-signed Luke, what's his nuts, with the broken ankle, and he's on IR. That's right. Luke, whatever. The other left tackle. He's hurt. Anyway. Yeah, I feel like we are loaded in weird, hard to find, most difficult places to find football. We're set in some of those areas. And there's some unknowns that are there, but I feel like if everybody plays their job and does their role and plays within the system and does what they're supposed to do in terms of the process, I feel like we could really just win most of these games based off of the fact that like we have probably better athletes than other teams have. We just do. And so like if we can keep it simple and play this game fast, I just feel like we're going to catch a lot of guys on their heels because they aren't going to expect this team to be that good. And I feel like if they just play fast and play sharp and hit first, we have the size, we have the speed, we have the strength. And I feel like in the past we had like this complicated mind game that we have, but now I feel like it's just about quick jabs, and I feel like if that didn't work, then we would not know the name Tom Brady. Playing inside out is the key to success. It's what Patrick Mahomes does. It's what all the best fucking quarterbacks have done. And we had a guy that was the greatest of all time at playing outside in. That's Aaron Rodgers. He's the greatest to ever fucking play like that. But That's a lot harder. Those are much lower odd throws. Those are like you're putting your guys in a much more unlikely position to succeed by forcing them to be that level, that Jordy Nelson level of great for you to find that consistent success. I feel like what we're doing, you can find that success more consistently with less talent more often. Like, isn't that what you want? You're playing the fucking numbers here. You know,
we're bigger, faster, stronger. Stop us.
Right. And I feel like it's not, and again, it's not about appeasing a star. It's just about who's playing better football that day. I don't know. I'm hoping that getting back to simplicity of like what football is supposed to be about is going to make this team be great. I'm hoping.
Well, LaFleur's got no more cover. He's got no one else to blame, right? He could always rely on the fans questioning whether it was Rodgers or LaFleur or what. Like he's lost his camo. He can't hide anymore.
Nope.
And so it's going to come down to whether he can actually deliver, and he's going to have to own all of the success and all of the failures this year. And it's going to be LaFleur in the spotlight, and he's got to make it happen. So I hope he has this team dialed up and ready.
Hey, look, I can say, God, I love this team so much, and I think Matt LaFleur is a pussy. Like after like last year, I'm just like, dude, you were like a little fucking bitch. And then like all these Joe Barry, like you're still here, all these things, but man, they let it ride.
Even interview.
He kept the same fucking coaches, and Tyson and I talked about this, like the same coaches in place. I thought was like it's a bold fucking move, and like Gutekunst, I think they're on the same page. But man, I watched preseason and like the direction that this team is heading, and I think I get it. I know what they're trying to do. This youth movement and just and putting everything behind fucking Jordan Love and this defense, I think actually, man, we've plugged it with so many. Dude, this is the most talented on paper defense I've ever fucking seen. It's like, how is this not going to work? Tell me why. It's got to be coaching, right? So if not, then let's fucking do it. And nobody believes in us. This is my favorite fucking part. Everybody, NFC North, are like already like the Lions are the fucking cream of the crop, or like this is and that. I'm like, fuck those guys. Fuck them all. This is our division. Still. Fucking still.
Yeah.
We take one quarterback out, place another quarterback in, and we continue, boys. That's my mindset.
We do. And also, let's just talk real quick about that defense, because we do have the three that we know, Devontae Wyatt, TJ Slayton, and Kenny Clark in the middle. Those guys have been developing together. Those guys are a fucking force when all working at the same time. We also got Carl Brooks and Colby Wooden that we got this year as rookies that have proven to be awesomely aggressive and a great fit for our defense.
Yep. Shooters.
Yep. Now we're moving back to the other strength of our defense, the middle linebackers. A nice change of pace for the Packers. We still got Quay Walker, first round pick from last year, super aggressive player. At times seemed like he was in his head a little more than he needed to be. When he played fast, he's terrifying. And also sometimes he's a little crazy. Ty's cool with it. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm
junkyard dog. That's what I want.
Ty loves this guy. And we also got Devondre Campbell, who I guess was playing hurt last year. That's certainly what it looks like.
All of last year.
Yeah, I think that this guy is also an all-pro level potential game-changing middle linebacker that is maybe in a Cicada situation where like every 3 years he's like the best, and then he goes back to being, hurt or whatever. So I'm hoping that this is one of those years, Cicada year. You know what I mean? Come on, Camel, Cicada Camel. Yeah. And then
it's not just the inside. It's not just the inside linebackers either, Tyson. I mean,
no.
Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary was hurt a lot of last year.
No, I'm gonna get to all that.
No. Ty, break down the outside linebacker situation. Let's go.
We do. We do. We got Rashawn Gary. We got Preston Smith, of course. Rashawn Gary coming back, huge.
Yep.
Now,
and then we picked up Lucas Van Ness.
Hell yeah.
So that's a huge, young spot that we could be filling. And this Kingsley Enagbare, like, wanted to single-handedly take the game over. Was that the Patriots preseason game? He had like 2 fumble recoveries in the first 3 minutes. I mean, this guy is tenacious and would start on any other team.
Don't forget we're bringing back Justin Hollins, one of the best free agent pickups we grabbed mid-season last year.
Yep.
Huge
Yep.
difference maker. They kept him because he's still fucking good, guys.
Yep.
And then we also got Brenton Cox Jr., another fucking knucklehead college guy who should have been drafted really early, who screwed up in college, who we would have never drafted in the Ted Thompson era, who's a fucking incredible athlete. This
Thank
is
you
what
for
I'm
saying that.
saying. Our team has changed, man. We are drafting guys based on athletic ability and believing that we have a good enough culture in this locker room that we can keep them out of trouble and we can make them as great as they can be and make them into the good enough guys to be out of trouble off the field, and then just funnel all that anger and insanity right towards the guys we're playing against. Like, this is how you fucking football. You know what I
Hallelujah,
mean?
brother.
This
Thank
is how
you.
fucking football. I don't need a fucking passer out there. That's not what I'm fucking not paying to watch on TV. All right. I want insane wrestlers on roids. I want crazy. All right. Just for a couple hours.
At least a
You know,
little bit. I
And
totally
they should be
agree.
great, perfect people after that. They should be like politicians after that.
Yeah,
but better.
Of course.
Exactly. They make that money, you know. So
Yeah.
no one else on TV is making money.
Tyson, so well said. Gentlemen, we do need to carry on here into
We do.
we're barreling into the third quarter, and we need to
Oh my
at
God.
least talk about our opponent, or at least what we think we fucking know about them. Okay. Week 1. Okay. Christmas Day is upon us in 5 days here. And the
Oh my God,
Chicago Bears. Does anybody know anything?
Chicago,
Where are you at?
I feel like I know that they had a pretty strong draft this last draft based on players that I thought I wanted that they picked. But keep in mind, Brian Gutekunst runs a different system than the rest of the society. So he's going to be doing this a different style. So I feel like the Bears fans are cocky as shit. They are definitely rumbling. This is their week of the year, the week before week 1. This is when they really start crackling.
Before
about
reality
it.
sets
Oh
in.
yeah, the reality is completely skewed. The solar flares are strong, and they're talking crazy shit about how the Packers are. No, there's no chance this year. We haven't really seen what they're about. Justin Fields is a running quarterback who might be willing to throw if he has to. And I don't know that works in the NFL, certainly not the NFC North. I've never seen that kind of quarterback work in the NFC North. I've seen it work in other divisions, or conference or sections of the conference, but I don't know. I just don't believe that you can play that way. They did get some better wideouts. So we'll see what happens.
100%. I'll expand on that too. So they brought in like Chase Claypool last year
Mhm.
from Pittsburgh. Dude, that guy was like a baller. And then in the offseason, Tyson, you're absolutely right. DJ Moore was who they pulled in from I think it was Carolina. Dude, this guy is like one of the more like underrated wide receivers in the league, in my opinion. I only know this because of fantasy football. And then Darnell Mooney is still there. Dude, that guy is so I'm saying like 1, 2, 3. That's actually a very impressive wide receiver core.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet at tight end, underutilized, but still a playmaker. But dude, did you guys know that they were like the second overall like running team as far as like Pro Football Focus last year, which is shocking because their offensive line is really not good at pass blocking. But Khalil Herbert, okay, that's their number 1 back. Motherfucker averaged 5.6 yards a carry. Running over people. Point
Yeah.
being is that week 1, the weakest point of like the Packers defense has been run defense. It's fucking atrocious. We just get ran over by everybody. So time to make a fucking statement
Yeah,
against
we'll
this
see.
team. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
also, like you said, Justin Fields, you got to keep that guy in check. He will he had a 45-yard touchdown against us last year. 55. Sorry, as I look at the stats here. Ty,
Yeah.
what the fuck are we gonna do against this team, my man?
I'm not. Well, to start with, LaFleur is 8-0 against the Bears. He's got it dialed in. He knows what it's about. Also, the Bears are under a second-year head coach. Now, last year, he was able to motivate his guys to what? A 6-win season? and they loved him for it. So, I mean, quite frankly, the Bears still suck. I'm not worried about this one. You know, the only thing is that we go in overconfident, but this team does not scare me. This team is the same Bears team I've seen trotted out every year, where it's like, oh, congratulations on your 4 top second round picks, but it's not going to materialize. They don't have the organization. You know, like we were saying earlier with Love, we've cultivated Love. We've spent time with Love. The Bears don't have that opportunity because their quarterback is new every year. Their coach is new every year. There's no system in place. And so they show up and Bears, you think we're figuring it out week 1? The Bears are going to be figuring it out week 1. This is basically preseason for them, and we're going to take them to the woodshed.
Yeah, they've been crashing new Hummers for years. They don't know what the fuck they're telling.
Yeah. And then filing fraudulent insurance claims.
Yeah, it's Chicago.
Worthless criminals.
That's pretty good. I like it.
Oh man, but yeah, I feel like there's there's a real it's a way more important game than it is on paper. You know, this is I've never really cared about beating the Bears
Yeah.
before. I've always felt like it was their rivalry, and I'm just like, I just got to keep this little bitch in check, you know. But like for me, this one really feels like this is man, they're in year 3 with their franchise quarterback, and we got this guy that's just starting. And like, if there's ever been a time that the Bears should be able to beat us, it's now, you know. And if they can't, oh man, that's so fucking sweet to me, you know. Like, I just love that they just can't buy a bucket. It doesn't matter how weak we are. It doesn't matter what happens. We can fucking trot anyone out there, and we're just gonna beat you, because that's the way the world works. And I just think, I hope that we earn it and beat them because we're a better team. But I also just want that cursed mentality of the Bears fan to never stop. I want them to be miserable as they are. I want them to just kind of dread and also look forward to their Sunday experience, and then mow their lawn by the second half. I like this dichotomy with the Bears fan. I don't need to change. So I'm hoping we can keep that dream alive. NFC North Division tradition.
Yeah, that's poetry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I think we find ourselves here in the closing moments of the game in the fourth quarter, and a segment we call "What Grinds Your Gears" has risen to the table yet again. Now, Ty, do you have anything for us?
Not off the top of my head.
No, you're too good of a fella. Tyson, I know there's fucking something grinding your gears.
There's so much that grinds my gears about everything all the time.
Throw down, my man.
You know, grinds my gears is when you are at the grocery store and you're kind of in a hurry. You know, you got to you know what you need. You thought out your route. You got your list in your head. You're like, I can get in and out of here in 10 minutes. No problem. And you got some fucking label reader spreading out doing yoga in the middle of the goddamn the way, and I can't get around them because their cart's taking up the way, and they're reading the label while they're stretching their hamstring, and I'm like, can you fucking move, please? Namaste. And I have a hard time understanding how they operate, going through life being completely unaware that there's other people around them that are on a fucking schedule. You know what I mean? You guys feeling me? The people that are in the way of the grocery stores. I'm not talking about the elderly. You know what I mean? You could see that coming. You can get out of the way. I'm talking about a young, healthy, agile human who's probably more flexible and quicker than me, that somehow moves like a sloth and is in my way. You know, grinds my goddamn gears.
Those bastards.
Yeah, something.
Couldn't agree more.
You couldn't, huh?
I could.
Try
no,
agreeing more.
Oh, jeez.
Tyson's getting aggressive. Tyson's getting aggressive.
That's a grind gear.
Man, you got a grind? You got a gear ground up? Any gear grinders?
So much, but it's all like too traffic related. You know what I mean? Like I'm
know.
just hitting the same points over and over. But I drive home and I get so fucking mad.
No,
But we don't need to touch on
yeah, you
that.
do. Come on, hit me one time.
No,
Oh wow.
We'll get into inflation next. go
Excellent
around.
grind my gears
I
segment here.
can't
baby.
handle the prices. Money is not even a thing anymore. Money doesn't even matter. It's just inflation's so crazy. That's what grinds my gears. When I'm like, oh yeah, no, how much for 4 tires? Because it was
No,
half
you're right,
that
you're
like
right.
5 years ago.
Rubber's double now, I guess. I don't know. I found the same thing. I'm like, I think I was gonna get a new car.
Yeah, right. I was like, no, I just wanted the 4 tires. Like,
Yeah.
Ty, I'm just glad you're speaking up. Like at this point, you're like, hey, my gas station chicken sandwich went up fucking 8 cents. Is that fair? No, it's not fair.
no. I don't care if they put half a strip of bacon on it and a sausage patty and try to dress it up a little. Still too damn much.
Yeah. Some of us only eat at gas stations. All right. We got a budget we're managing here.
Also, when I was a young man, I loved to take risks. And I love to live a lifestyle that nobody knew if I was going to make it or not. Now, I've mellowed, but I still enjoy the risk taking of a tuna salad sandwich from the mobile gas station. That's as far as I get now.
Why?
Live on the edge, man.
That
Live on the
taquito's been there for 2 days. He's like, I'll take it. Give me it.
Fuck yeah. It's barely
thing
been
is-
refrigerated, but when I eat that thing, my heart is going boom, 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 boom. Like, oh, this could go really bad. It's how I get my thrills now, you know.
It goes well with gas fumes.
Yeah.
It's good to get to know the the people on the pod. Anyway, last kind of as we close here, a segment we call anything left in your glass. Boys, anything you wanted to touch on, we glazed over. Fucking last thoughts. Anything.
John Nixon. Right? We didn't bring his name up the whole pod,
There we go.
but this guy is going to be critical. We're going to have him be a presence in the secondary. He's going to have to be a presence in special teams.
Yeah.
Keyshawn didn't get a mention, and I'd like to just throw it out there, put the pressure on him. I know he watches the pod. Keyshawn, we're counting on you this year to make up for all of Joe Barry's shortcomings.
Fuck
I-
that guy.
I mean, we have no crap on tap in the cornerback position in general. So I'm really excited about that aspect of our secondary. A lot of questions at the free safety position, but I will say we have an opportunity on our hands here, folks. I mean, as Green Bay Packers fans, this is a turning point, and we all have a responsibility to take this transition seriously and to give this quarterback and this team every bit of Packers energy, love, and commitment
Yes.
to success. They've had our success, our energy in years that it's been a hope and a prayer, and sometimes it's almost been enough. And I feel like this year that stability is needed more than ever. So what I ask of you, Packers Nation and fans, is to be patient and understanding and lenient with the growth of this team, and to believe, like a parking spot in a loaded mall, you got to fucking believe that that spot is going to be right up front. You just got to keep driving past all those cars because you know someone's going to be pulling out and you're going to get that spot. This is the kind of belief I need you to have. Okay. It's not based in logic. You're looking at the full parking lot. This is a stupid move. Your wife's yelling at you, Tyson, just take the spot over here. It's way in the back. And I said, no, you got to believe. Okay. So you drive forward, and what happens? You find the parking spot. And that is success, folks. That is success. And we have a responsibility to find that parking spot as Packers fans. Bring it.
Yeah.
That's my final.
Mayhew, what's your final? That was a good one, Tyson. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen, we're at the point here where we just need some score predictions. Again, we got football in fucking 5-6 days. I don't know. Packers, Bears, where's your head at? Final score, T-Bone, we're gonna start with you.
I think it's going to be a Bears are going to start out. I think the Packers are going to keep it tight for the first quarter. I think the Bears are going to take a lead, make everybody a little concerned, and the Packers are going to finish really strong and sharp in the second half. I think it's going to be a final score of 27-21 Green Bay Packers.
I like where your head's at with the Packers score. I also agree. 27 was my number for the Packers. However, I don't think the Bears sniff the end zone. I think they kick 4 field goals. And I think it's 27-12.
That sounds good to me too. I like the sound of that.
I was just happy that the math added up, if I'm being totally honest. Yeah. No, as much as I wish, I feel like our offense is it's not gonna be as sharp as I want it to be, but I think they will put up points, but it's gonna be low and it's gonna be tight. I'm gonna go 21-17 back.
Win's a win, baby.
Yeah.
Wins a fucking win.
And
That's
this-
right. Especially in
this
that fucking stupid spaceship for Bears. Who fucking built that stadium? They should be fucking kicked out of the league just for that. I heard they're moving. I heard they're not even going to stay in downtown Chicago. They're going to move them out of town.
Yep. Then we got bought out already. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's a shame. Now it's just going to be a parking lot with a terrible top.
Tyson, why don't you call us out here on the hashtag?
All right, guys, here we go. First one of the year. Say it loud, say it proud. Hashtag fuck them Bears.
Fuck them Bears.
Fuck the
They're
Bears.
so
Let's go,
sorry.
Pack. This is our year, 2023. Show them where they fucking come to get some losses. Right here. Fuck the Bears.
We'll see you next week, y'all.
Two dads a Chaz.
Two dads and a Chaz, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz, talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Mostly gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides some rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.